going to talk about tonight is we're going to talk about the single most important thing that you have to learn while you're here. If you learn what we have to talk about tonight, if you hear what I have to say and understand it, you'll be able to go on to a healthy and productive recovery. If you miss this, if you don't hear this, or if somehow this isn't part of your treatment, you'll continue to believe that the reason you're here is because you're bad or because you're stupid. When I was in treatment for addiction, and I was, the reason I thought I was in treatment is because the world is full of people that didn't have my best interests at heart. The fates were against me. There had been an economic downturn, and I'd had a string of bad relationships. Deep in my heart, the reason I thought I was in treatment is because I wasn't quite slick enough. I wasn't quite smooth enough to keep doing what it is that I wanted to do and thought I needed to do and keep all these damn people off my back. And one of the chemicals that has to do with our feeling is called dopamine. Dopamine is a normal, natural chemical compound. It's manufactured in and affects several different areas of our primitive instinctual survival brain, and those areas do different things. You know, one area has to do with movement, one area has to do with being alert, but one area that's impacted by dopamine is represented by this blue graphic, and it is our pleasure and reward center. Now, when the concentration of dopamine is high in our pleasure and reward center, we feel euphoria. We feel splendid. We feel glorious. We feel magnificent. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I don't run around feeling glorious and magnificent all the time. Most of the time, I run around feeling normal. And when I feel normal, that's associated with a normal level of dopamine in my pleasure and reward center. And under those circumstances, life feels like life. It's not wonderful, it's not terrible. We get up in the morning, go to work, get tired, come home, eat dinner, go to bed, and get up and do the same damn thing the next day. That's life, that's what it feels like, that's what it's supposed to feel like, and that's associated with a normal level of dopamine. But sometimes in life, our level of dopamine goes way, way high, and that also happens to all of us sooner or later. Sometimes it happens at the time of a major accomplishment, such as completing a job or completing a school. Sometimes it happens at the time of a major gift, such as the birth of a child. Or most typically, it happens the first time you fall in love. By the way, I'm just interested, how many of you remember the first time you fell in love? About 6 of you, and the rest of you are liars. Here's what you were doing the week you decided to come in here. You were engaged in the unbridled pursuit of pleasure drives. Is that a correct statement? Okay. Well, some of you may know this from your own education or maybe your own journey. But what you actually do when you're engaged in advanced spiritual practice is an action, an activity, an exercise to harness pleasure drives in the service of some higher purpose. And that's true if it's the exercises of Ignatius Loyola or transcendental meditation or getting centered. It's an exercise to harness pleasure drives in the service of some higher purpose. And that's why spiritual practice is necessary to the recovery from this disease. Are there any bad people in the room? Any toss-outs, any throwaways? Anybody have any question that addiction is a disease?